The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRCMedia, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
This week in FRCmedia News, the candidates for mayor face questions in a forum hosted by the Flint Neighborhood Association. Schools begin a new year. What's on tap within the Fall River Public Schools? And renovations at St. Anne's Church move forward. All this and more coming up. It's Thursday, August 28th, 2025. This is FRCmedia News. I'm Keith Tebow. 3 of the 5 candidates running for mayor in the city's preliminary election took part in a mayoral forum held by the Flint Neighborhood Association on Wednesday night. It's the first such forum before the September 16th election. Challengers Gabriel Boomer Amaral, Carlos Caesar, and Christopher Sylvia were on hand. Incumbent Mayor Paul Coogan referenced a prior commitment for his absence, while challenger Michael Vandal did not respond to the invitation. The forum was streamed by FRCmedia. The candidates answered questions ranging from supporting neighborhood needs to public safety staffing to prioritizing essential city services such as street repairs and trash pickup. The trio gave varying responses to how they would deal with the city's homelessness problem.
I have a plan with several buildings. I'll give you, a sample, I guess. My goal is to close RPA and put our children back in school where they belong. Those kids are not just going to be left there to rot and forgotten about because they want to worry about numbers of certain schools and their prissy schools. The kids need a chance to go to school and have positive influences as well. I want to take that building and I want to put in micro units. And those micro units, like Carlos said, can work the same way as far as small house or whatever it may be. But those micro units are for the mental health portion of that. Now, as far as those who need rehab, those who just can't afford rent, whatever it may be, we're looking at taking that $3.5 million that we're spending on the current processing of homelessness, that $3.5 million, almost, I think it's like 3.2, I forget the exact number for RPA, we're gonna save that money. So you're looking at almost $7 million that we have to utilize to create these programs and help mobilize the right way.
We cannot treat the whole community the same way. One shirt don't fit all. They all have different problems. And believe it or not, some of them, it's so easy to resolve their problem. They're still working. They're still driving. The problem, they cannot afford the $2,000 rent, which is so easy. The city owns a lot of land. Why don't we, and the taxpayers are not collecting money on those lands, why don't we identify something, some places, some land that we can put tiny houses? I'm in favor of tiny houses. If it's gonna start the process to fix the homelessness, I have no problem with that. Tiny houses for those that cannot just afford rent, but they still can pay a small amount for house, and then move from there.
We have a perfect storm right now. We have high rents, we have drug addiction, mental illness, and we have an inefficient homeless coordination going on here in the city. So my plan would be to start out tackling the drug problem, zero tolerance with drugs in the city of Fall River, start tackling the addiction issues, start calling in people from other states like Rhode Island who's doing wonderful jobs with their homeless population, because it's affecting everything in the city. On my ride here today, I got stopped at Bedford and Robeson and got asked for money from a homeless person. Turned the corner by Portugalia, and there's someone sleeping in the ATM. Came up Pleasant Street, and there's 2 camping out behind Shalmar, I think, Ethan Allen. And that's just the right here, right? So it's starting to spread all over the place.
The candidates were also asked how, as mayor, they would make it easier to attract small businesses.
People are afraid to open small business because it's overwhelming. They don't know how to do it, and the city does not make it an easy process. So I think we need to fast track those things. We need a department, and I'm sure someone's going to say we already have one, but I'm going to say it's ineffective. We need a department that gets these small businesses open and incubates. I believe on Purchase Street, they tried something like that with an incubator for small business. We need that. We need to grow it. As far as attracting other businesses, we need to focus on getting manufacturing, biotech, textiles. Believe it or not, they still exist, and we have the land. But we need to clean our city up first. This is not exactly an attractive situation to come in if you're an investor. So we need to get the city cleaned up and start focusing on that.
They go to another town. It's easy. It goes to a city hall. I need to open a new business. They got to handle a folder with all the applications they need, with all the certifications they need. And a month after, he has his new business in Fall River. Takes 3 months to have an inspector. Then another 2 months to have another inspector. Then the first inspector comes back, okay, you already did this, but I forgot, you have to do this too. I know a business that took 8 months just to, was a restaurant before, just to change ownership. Took them 8 months. So how can we attract small business with all this red tape? That's never going to happen. But we need to incentive them to open small business because it's a lot of money that the city can profit.
How many businesses want to come here when we are ranked between one and top 4 of the highest crime rate? We got stores like Rite Aid and Walgreens shutting down after being robbed 20, 30 times a day. No response, no reports, no issues, right? Nobody wants to be there. Yeah, the accidents, we're not reporting, we're not doing anything. So you have to clean up the streets. We have to organize it and do it properly because we can bring all the businesses we want here. I can recruit. I've done it for a living. Recruiting's easy. Retention is not. Retaining the businesses, retaining the people that want to be here is not going to be easy if they're going to deal with the same issues and the same problems. But yet, we're understaffed here, we don't have enough cops in the sectors, we're getting robbed. It's not going to help us. We have to work it in order. We have to clean our streets. We have to focus on the homelessness. We have to focus on the crime. We have to focus on our first responders, making sure we can handle it. And then we also need to do that while my team is recruiting.
You can watch the complete forum and view other videos from the candidates by visiting our special FRCmedia Election 2025 webpage at frmedia.org/election 2025. A new school year kicked off across Fall River this week. We were at the Tansy Elementary School on Wednesday morning, where students were greeted by community members wishing them well. Fall River School Superintendent Dr. Tracy Curley begins her second academic year leading the city's public school district, which is expected to serve approximately 11,000 students. Unlike other area school departments, Fall River's student population has risen since the end of the pandemic, resulting in the need to make adjustments to space arrangements within city schools.
What we are seeing this year is that as we're moving to a more inclusive environment, where we have students who potentially had been in substantially separate programs. We've made a very concerted effort to include those students for more of their school day with typical peers. We're seeing more of a need for space. We're seeing more of a need for additional, general classrooms where we're talking about our English learners, where in the past we've seen English learners potentially spend 2, 3, 4 years in a foundational classroom, basically a substantially separate setting of English learners. We're seeing many more of those students mainstreamed much quicker, 1 to 2 years. So that has decreased our need for those foundational classrooms. And we're seeing an increased need in our general classrooms, our mainstream classrooms, for students to be joining their peers their English-speaking peers for all of their day.
Enrollment growth has exacerbated the need to fill open teaching positions within the district. Dr. Curley says dozens of openings remain unfilled, particularly those that serve students who need extra academic and developmental support.
I would say that special education is a major focus for us. It's really what prompted us in these last few years to build partnerships with local colleges so that we're able to provide very structured licensing pathways. So it puts us in a position where we may be attracting people who are not licensed initially, but we're supporting them to get licensed quickly, efficiently, effectively, so that we will eventually have more licensed people. In the meantime, we're applying for waivers for folks. They're not necessarily typical people who are raising their hands and saying, I'd like to try on teaching. It's not that. Sometimes they're licensed in other areas, they're just not licensed in special education, and we support them to pursue their licensure while they're teaching in our schools.
Dr. Curley says one significant area of improvement has been the reduction in students who are deemed chronically absent, missing 10% or more days in a year. At Durfee High School, the increase in attendance can be attributed to the implementation of a cell phone ban last fall.
It's so hard because sometimes there are multiple things going on, and it's difficult to point at one thing to say that's the difference maker. But I think certainly when we're I can tell you from my experience being at Durfee how different the cafeteria is, the hallways are, the classrooms are, which is, obviously the focus. It is that classroom work, but you just see the difference in the way students interact. And so in that way, I think that has to play a role in positively impacting attendance as well, because I think we saw more students getting more actively engaged in their work and in the social aspects of schools in a way that kids don't when they can just be on their phones. And I think that there was just a marked difference in the energy that I think we'll see impacts academically. We certainly see them in the relationship building at the school.
For the upcoming school year, the district will finalize a redistricting plan to balance enrollment across all city elementary and middle schools.
Ideally, we would have all of our neighborhood schools, and students would feel very much part of a neighborhood and a walking community. It's not where we are. Most districts our size aren't anymore. One of the things that we anticipate doing is opening another K-8 school. We've had a lot of success at both the Durham Community School and the Henry Lord Community School. So we're excited for the opportunity within this redistricting plan to open another K-8 school and offer that opportunity to more families. And but when we do that, it means it impacts middle school and it impacts high school and elementary school. So it could mean that we're going to take a middle school and make that a K-8 school. And then we have to redistribute some of those middle school students to other middle schools. It could also mean that but more likely it means impacting an elementary school and whatever middle school that it would usually be attached to.
New Bristol Community College President Dr. Cedric Harris is looking forward to Bristol students arriving on campus to begin the new year on September 2nd.
The fall is one of the most exciting times of the year. Because you have your returning students, but then you also have those new students. It's just really an exciting time for us to usher our students in, welcome our students, welcome back our faculty and our staff members. I think that's really an important time, and I get really excited about it. Outside of commencement, the fall semester is my favorite. One of the biggest expectations that I have is to making sure that students get what they need. We've got programs within the student affairs area. We've got academic services ready. We have accommodations for students with disabilities ready to go. And so we're really looking forward to servicing our students in the best way possible.
Dr. Harris begins his first full academic year leading Bristol as Massachusetts heads into its second year of offering free community college education to all state residents.
Massachusetts was one of those states that had made the commitment to higher education and servicing their communities. And community colleges are the economic engines to be able to provide resources and educational opportunity and vocational training beyond high school to our public. And so having this free opportunity for students to come to school, it just made a great fit for me. And I think that our students will actually benefit from it. Our communities will benefit from it. And I think the college will benefit by having the opportunity to pivot and service more students with a change in programming that we are offering, whether it be on our campus or one of our extension centers. We have to be ready to make that pivot so that students can get what they need.
Enrollment at Bristol is on the rise, and the college continues to develop opportunities that will benefit students continuing their education after graduation or those entering the workforce.
One of the things that we're looking at is those vocational programs. So we're really looking at bringing in programs like HVAC. We're trying to see how we can fit that into our academic schedule. We're also looking at welding. So we have a lot of those programs that we've written grants for and received money so we can start to establish those programs. We already have programs that are connected to our NAWI building, our National Offshore Wind Institute, so that students can learn about crane operations, they can learn about hoisting. So there's a lot of program pieces that we have in place and that we're going to continue to grow in order to service our community.
It's been 6 years since the St. Anne's Preservation Society began the effort to raise funds to repair the ailing church on South Main Street, and the organization is making headway toward restoring the 153-year-old historic structure. The main church was closed in 2015 after years of leaks caused plaster to fall off the walls in the upper church. Masses were held in the downstairs shrine until November of 2018, when it was deemed too costly for the parish to remain sustainable. The Preservation Society negotiated an agreement with the Diocese of Fall River in 2019 to take over the operation of the church with the hopes of making necessary repairs to reopen it as a diocesan parish. The Preservation Society has raised funds through individual and corporate donations and the sale of candles and church memorabilia in its gift shop. The organization has also received funds from the city's Community Preservation Committee, earmarked for repairs to the exterior of the church.
We worked on the hospital side on the year before, and actually it was this time of year last year where we started the work from the front tower on the school side, and we went back to the transept, and we removed all the old copper downspouts. We rebuilt the wooden gutter boxes. There was some rotted wood in there that had to be addressed. And we replaced that with new copper and downspouts all the way to the, so when I say the transept, that's like the midpoint of the church. And so that work has been completed now. So we've done halfway back on the church on both sides. And we've stopped a lot of leaks with that work.
Private donations have made it possible to renovate several chapels located in the downstairs shrine, which has reopened for prayer and special services. The next step is to complete repairs to the outside of the building while addressing work to the interior of the upper church.
We're trying to reopen upstairs for 2026, if we can. And that depends on how much the costs come in at when we get the bids. At the very least, what I'd really like to do is to just remove the hazard. So that what the hazard was there was a piece of plaster molding that had fallen in 2015, and that's what led to the closure of the upper church. And so some of the water infiltration through the brick has caused some of that plaster on the walls to disbond from the brick. So what we want to do is just remove all of that disbonded plaster, remove the hazard, clean it up upstairs. It will be safe. We keep working at it, plugging at it. We do a little bit at a time. We don't commit to anything until we have the money in hand. So we save the money, get it in hand, fix it. And so we're doing it in a phase-by-phase approach. So it's been working out well.
The Preservation Society will hold its annual fundraising banquet in a few weeks, featuring the remarks by the Most Reverend Sean Cardinal O'Malley, former bishop of the Diocese of Fall River.
It will be at White's September 9th, 6 o'clock. Tickets are available online at the White's website. If you go to whitesofwestport.com, you'll see a little box that's like food and events. You click on that and you can it'll bring you to all of their events. They have comedy shows, stuff like that. And just go to September 9 and you'll see it there. And we also sell tickets here in the shrine. So if people are local and they just want to come purchase the ticket from here, they can do so. And it is a fundraiser, so the ticket price is a little higher than normal. But we, having Cardinal O'Malley is such an honor for us, and we love what we do here. We're saving this icon in the city, and so we're really looking forward to a good crowd at White's.
We'll have more FRC Media News after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Retail print sales specialist. Staples, located at 416 William S. Canning Boulevard, seeks a full-time retail print sales specialist to provide customer service and solutions to customers' print needs. Job number 229-59912. X-ray technician. St. Anne's Hospital, located at 795 Middle Street, is urgently looking for a full-time X-ray technician to provide healthcare services to assist in diagnosis or treatment. Job number 229-57562. Branch assistant. Bank 5, located at 1604 President Avenue, is seeking a full-time branch assistant to assist management with administrative functions. Job number 229-61081. Cardiac sonographer. Primacare, located at 289 Pleasant Street, is urgently looking for a full-time cardiac sonographer. For more information, call 508-676-3292. Blount Fine Foods, located at 630 Current Road, has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions. Maintenance technician, job number 229-60908. FSQ technician, job number 229-64232. For more information about these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
It's another week, which means it's another opportunity for us to speak about local business and economic development news with Kevin Lawrence of Fall River Development News. You can find Kevin on Facebook. Kevin, how are you this week?
Well, and glad to be back again, Keith.
All right, let's get right to it. There's a few issues on our agenda this week. The St. Mary's School in Fall River is undergoing a rehab. Tell us about that.
This is in the downtown area. This is near the Lizzie Borden House. The actual address is 467 Spring Street, although it borders Rodman Street and 2nd Street in the city of Fall River. This is a school which has been vacant for years, the old St. Mary's School owned by the Fall River Diocese. It's a 4-story historic structure. If you've driven by lately, you're seeing remediation work taking place, and we're told that the Fall River Diocese is planning to use this for office space. Who will move into the building once it's completed is still a mystery, but they're going to convert it into office space for some, maybe the diocese or some organization associated with the diocese.
Well, it's interesting because I know, I believe the cathedral, which is right across the street on 2nd Street, they may use that for parking, maybe for masses. I'm not quite sure, but there is a lot of parking there. It's a big lot.
Lots of parking, and it's a blighted building that's in the heart of downtown that's been abandoned for years. It's nice to see it's getting restored again.
Yep. All right. We always like to talk about restaurants here in Fall River, and there is a current Chinese restaurant who's been in its location for quite a while. It's soon to become a different type of restaurant.
Yes, this is the Sun China Restaurant. The address is 752 Brayton Avenue in Fall River, and a new entity called Pharaoh's Pizza LLC was granted a common vitulers license by the Fall River Licensing Board. They're going to open up a pizza shop at that location. It'll be open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week, closed on Sundays. The gentleman who's going to be operating this pizza shop was a manager at a pizza shop in Rhode Island for over a decade, and he's going out on his own, planning to start this new business. The space is about 1,200 square feet in size. It does have seating for 30. And we're looking forward to a new business taking that over and cleaning up the property. And we wish them all the luck in the world. At 752 Brayton Avenue in Fall River, Pharaoh's Pizza coming soon.
And you had mentioned that the Chinese restaurant had been there for quite a while, right?
Yeah, 30 years they were in business. The property was up for sale, and they sold the property apparently, and this new venture is going to be taking its place.
All right. And finally, this week, there is a New Bedford restaurant. I believe it's a Portuguese restaurant that's going to be taking up roots here in Fall River.
Yes, the Aliancia restaurant on Cove Street in New Bedford is going to be opening a second location, this time in the city of Fall River. They're coming to 652 Bedford Street. That was last occupied by the Mr. Chicken restaurant, which is now closed. Alianza will be focusing mostly on their platter orders and buffet-style takeout at their new Fall River location. They're famous for their Taste of Portugal with an Azorean-style dining menu with authentic Portuguese dishes on their menu. So we're looking forward to that. It's nice to see a building's not going to be vacant. A new restaurant will be moving in on Bedford Street.
And I think if correct me if I'm wrong, it's around the Columbus Park neighborhood, right? That neck of the woods of Bedford Street.
This is
Sorry to put you on the spot, but
your Taco. The Taco.
okay.
Building.
Right,
Yeah.
toward the bottom of Robeson Street.
The center of Bedford Street.
Yeah. All right. You can find more of Kevin's work on Fall River Development News on Facebook. Kevin, as always, thank you for your time. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Keith. Have a good day.
Welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we have Dusty. He's a 7-year-old German Shepherd. He's 107 pounds, so he's a very big boy, but he actually is a good weight for his size. He's in perfect healthy condition for his age. He's got clean teeth. The only thing is he has a little bit of a sensitive back end with his hips, which is German Shepherds are usually prone to that. He came in as an owner surrender for personal reasons. It wasn't really about him at all. Because we don't really know much about his past, we would recommend children over 12 years old in the home. He's very, very lovey. He lets us do whatever we want for his vaccines. He loves toys. He's a very active boy. He's a very active lifestyle. It's typical with the breed. He loves to run out in the play yards and on his leash. He loves to play. He has his toys all the time. So if you're interested in coming and seeing Dusty, you can visit him at Forever Paws Animal Shelter at 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts. You could also visit our website, foreverpaws.com, or you could give us a call at 508-677-9154 to come and make an appointment to see Dusty.
Today we are here with Sarabi. Sarabi is a 3-year-old domestic short hair who is a little tabby, as you can see by her fur. She's been here for a little less than 2 weeks. She's just super friendly, as you can see. So if you're looking for a nice, friendly, comfortable cat to have in the house, this is definitely one to watch. If you want to meet this little one over here, then you could come down to Forever Paws Animal Shelter at 300 Linwood Street, Fall River, Mass. Or visit our website, as I mentioned before, www.foreverpaws.com.
That'll do it for this week's edition of FRC Media News. Please visit our website, frmedia.org, for more local news and information. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great Labor Day weekend. We'll talk to you on Thursday.